This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 3rd day of June in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. Police Commissioner Leslie James this afternoon assured that Guyana has not seen any upsurge in crime, and that is based on statistics of reported criminal activity. At a late afternoon press conference, the police commissioner said while there have been some sensational crimes, there has been no upsurge.
What I want to make very clear is the Guyana police force, whenever statements are made about our crime statistics, it is purely based on reported crimes. And to date, compared with last year, with the corresponding period, we are operating at a minus 2.7%.
The police commissioner said the police force is concerned about the crime situation, but he wants to make it clear to Guyanese at home and abroad, as well as visitors, that there is no increase in criminal activity in the state of Guyana.
I wish to advise very, very clearly, there is no upsurge in crime in the state of Guyana. There have been a few sensational, what we would refer to as sensational crimes, which were reported by you, colleagues in the media fraternity. And as normal, expectedly so, you may have person or persons concerned about the occurrence of those crimes. So do we. As the premier law enforcement body in this state, we are concerned whenever there is any singular occurrence of any crime. But I wish to assure the populace, and by extension, visitors to the state of Guyana and our residents abroad within the diaspora, that crime is not on the increase in our state.
The police commissioner also brushed aside concerns by some civil society groups which have claimed that there may be a lack of confidence in the Guyana police force. He said those groups should provide statistics for their positions on crime, just as he is providing statistics.
Are you saying that a survey was conducted by that group? Well, kindly check to see, because let me tell you something. This is a democratic state, and anyone is allowed to make any statement which he or she wishes to make. But I just wish for emphasis to state that we do not have any increase in crime in the state.
And the commissioner said he would also like the public to know that there are channels that exist within the police force for complaints to be filed whenever there might be poor response by the police to reports of criminal activity. Meanwhile, the commissioner also revealed today that he has had discussions with at least one official from the U.S. Embassy, following the embassy's recent advisory about the crime situation in Guyana. He said the embassy may be in receipt of reports that are not made to the police force. More news coming up in just a moment.
You've got this. And we've got you. With Blaze Superfast Internet. Blaze is fast, easy, reliable internet that you can trust. So celebrate, because there's always more to love with GTT.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways. Knowing that's what being a man is all about, and ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance, and high mileage, Visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
Get your documents ready to be registered. Are you eligible to be registered during GCOM's house-to-house registration exercise? Then you must have either a birth certificate, a valid passport, naturalization certificate or certificate of registration, adoption certificate. Married women may also be asked to present their marriage certificate. Individuals who had a name change, which is not stated on their birth certificate, must present a deed poll along with their original birth certificate. Get your documents ready now and prepare to be registered. If you were previously registered, you will need to be registered again. Be on the lookout. It is your right. Make it your responsibility. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027729 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Contact your nearest GCOM registration office or visit our website www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. 30-year-old businessman Amir Ali and Canada truck driver 32-year-old Baldio Persad were today sentenced to 4 years in jail and fined $25 million each after being found guilty of cocaine possession and trafficking. The sentences and fines were handed down by Magistrate Lerone Daly in connection with the cocaine in fish case. The two were nabbed and arrested last year after 20 pounds of cocaine were found in a shipment of frozen fish that was being prepared for export at the Chedijagan airport. In court today, the magistrate ruled that the evidence put forward by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit was very compelling, and that resulted in the convictions. Family members of the two men broke down in tears after the verdict was handed down, and the two were bundled off to jail. Kanu has been stepping up its crime-fighting capabilities and has been credited with a number of major drug busts over the past few years. Let's tell you now that the Ministry of the Presidency is making it clear that under the President David Granger-led administration, the Guyana Defense Force has seen strengthening in several areas. The statement from the Ministry of the Presidency came in wake of a letter to the press by an unnamed junior officer of the Guyana Defense Force, who complained of too much presidential meddling in the daily affairs of the GDF. In its statement last evening, the Ministry of the Presidency reminded that the head of the government is the chairman of the Defense Board, and that is covered by the laws of Guyana. The statement added that several programs in the GDF that were neglected under the previous administration have been back up and running under the Granger government. It noted that the Reserve Force and the Cadet Corps that were neglected previously are no longer neglected, and the GDF is now engaged more in annual exercises. The release also noted that Guyana's military presence at the western border has been strengthened, and there has been a reduction in attacks on locals by foreign gangs as border security has been reinforced. According to the Ministry of the Presidency, it would be deemed a dereliction of duty if the President did not correct the bad practices which have damaged the reputation of the Guyana Defense Force. Well, there are calls this evening for both pedestrians and drivers to exercise more caution and better care on the country's roadways. The calls come as family members are mourning the death of a 7-year-old girl who died after being smashed in a horrific accident on the public road just outside Agricola on Saturday. The young girl and an aunt were standing in line with the median waiting to cross the road when a sand truck pulled to the corner from another vehicle and smashed into the child. Yesterday, residents of the nearby Agricola community complained about the absence of an overhead pedestrian crossing and the regular absence of traffic ranks during busy traffic hours in the area. Meanwhile, some of the residents are also coming under fire for their attack on the driver of the truck. The man sustained several injuries after being pelted and beaten by residents in the immediate aftermath of the accident. He remains in custody as the police probe into the accident continues. The man's truck was later torched by angry residents in protest of the child's death. The Guyana Police Force is being blamed for not having proper systems in place just after the accident to ensure the protection of the area. Guyana continues to see a high number of road accidents on the country's roadways. Let's tell you now that the Guyana Police Force is currently studying video recordings of the aftermath of that fatal accident at Agricola on Saturday and intends to file criminal charges against the persons who attacked the driver of the truck that was involved in the accident.
Now, following that accident, the police indeed were summoned. The police arrived in the main ranks from the traffic department. What ensued therefrom were that residents in the immediate area became very much irate and tried to, they meted out their ire on the driver. That was before the police arrived. On arrival of the police, the driver was safely escorted from there. I wish to make it very clear that we are investigating recordings of persons who may have assaulted that driver. And once so identified, we will be taking action in terms of charges of persons who might have assaulted that person. And I want to call also on all Guyanese to express some restraint, express general restraint. There might be an accident where a loved one or a member of your community might have been involved or lost their life. But you ought not to engage in what is referred to as vigilante justice. No less a person than the head of state has made it very clear that it should not be vigilante justice. And what we've seen in the videos is totally wrong. And as I said, that is being investigated. And whoever is identified, we are pursuing that. And those persons are likely to be charged and placed before our courts.
The truck driver was badly beaten by angry residents. This afternoon, the police commissioner told reporters that he does not intend to encourage vigilante justice, and the force will go after those who attack the driver.
The police, at that time, my understanding is, were not necessarily in numbers. And it was someone, I'm told, that hurled an incendiary device which entered into, I think, the cabin of the truck, and the truck cabin was engulfed in flames, and then, of course, you had this whole fire. The conflagration that followed was as a result of gasoline, the tank being exploded and things like that.
The police commissioner also issued a warning to members of the public that the force has a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to vigilante justice. Across the region is coming up next.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
You've got this. And we've got you. With Blaze Superfast Internet. Blaze is fast, easy, reliable internet that you can trust. So celebrate, because there's always more to love with GTT.
Across the region right now, Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has signed a groundbreaking initiative aimed at encouraging his Caribbean community neighbors to take further steps to eliminate the use of single-use plastics and end ocean pollution. The St. John's Declaration was signed as the Twin Island nation on Saturday hosted the Play It Out Festival, which brought together regional and international artists, policy leaders, innovators, and celebrity guests to raise awareness about the fight against plastic pollution. Speaking during the almost 11-hour free concert at the Sir Vivian Richards National Stadium, Brown made a direct call to his regional counterparts. He said it is now time for a CARICOM action to effectively address plastic pollution in the Caribbean Sea and to deal with the issue of plastic pollution. In Trinidad and Tobago, police are probing an incident in which a Jamaican national who was refused entry into Trinidad eluded immigration and airline security officials and left the Piarco International Airport on Saturday. The Sunday Guardian newspaper reported that the Jamaican man in his early 20s arrived late on Friday aboard a Caribbean Airlines flight from Kingston. It's reported that the man, whose name was not released, has pending drug-related matters in Jamaica, and he attempted to enter Trinidad previously on 3 occasions. When he attempted to re-enter the country on Friday, he was stopped by immigration authorities and placed in an immigration detention holding room at the airport. However, when immigration officers went to check on the man early on Saturday, he could not be found. The Guardian reports that officers later discovered that the man had removed a ceiling tile in the roof of the room and climbed inside the area. The airport's authority of Trinidad and Tobago, in a statement late Saturday, confirmed that a Jamaican man had escaped from immigration and airline security officials and left the airport. And finally tonight, international news. Canada is complicit in a race-based genocide against Indigenous women, a government report has concluded. The report cited research finding Indigenous women were 12 times more likely to be killed or to disappear than other women in Canada. Released earlier today, the report was many years in the making. Among more than 200 recommendations is a call for all Canadians to help end violence, including by learning Indigenous history. The 1,200-page document is a culmination of almost 3 years of hearings and research by the Inquiry into Disappropriation Violence by Indigenous Women and Girls in Canada. It blames the crisis on deep-rooted colonialism and state inaction. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.